This is Rich here on behalf of Rich TV Live, and we have some breaking news hot off the presses. Literally hot off the presses. This news just broke. My phone is blowing up. Everything's blowing up. Everyone's blowing up. Everyone's talking about it. So we're going to talk about it. We're live, we're interactive, and we're going to talk about the big breaking news from Taat Lifestyle and Wellness. Hope you're all having a good day. Hope you had a good trading day. We're going to go live and interactive and talk about this on the greatest streaming platform in the universe here on YouTube. And we are live and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this Taat closing of a 6.75 million private placement with a group of investors, including Miss Debbie Chang. So Taat has now raised $6.75 million. Now, why would someone put $6.75 million into Taat? Why would someone be interested in investing $6.75 million into Taat? Let's get into this news. Taat Lifestyle and Wellness, TAAT in Canada, TOBAF in America, and 2TP2 in Frankfurt, Germany. Now, I did break this pick pre-IPO at 41 cents. On Monday, it hit an all-time high of $4.41 in America, which was a 10-bagger, 1,000% gain for investors. Since Monday, it has pulled back to where today it's around $2.50. Now, they just broke this news that they're getting $6.75 million. Let's try to break this down. So $6,750,000 has been placed in escrow, subject to the company confirming the delivery of the closing proceeds. The subscribers to the placement were a group of investors, otherwise known as the group, including Ms. Debbie Chang, co-founder of Horizons Ventures. Now, who knows what Horizons Ventures is? Anybody know what Horizons Ventures is? It's my job to make sure that people understand the news and really understand what's going on here. And who is Miss Debbie Chang? Does anyone know who is Miss Debbie Chang? Horizon Ventures, Miss Debbie Chang. Debbie Chang. Let's Google it. Horizons Ventures, Miss Debbie Chang. Oh, here we go. Horizon Ventures, Miss Debbie Chang. Horizon Ventures is a Hong Kong-based venture capital firm that invests in global disruptive technology. Taat's global, they're disruptive, and they have a technology that could change the world. Interesting. And biotechnology companies, our capital is highly flexible, and we have made investments throughout Asia, Europe, and North America. Now, why would this Hong Kong-based venture capital firm invest in Taat? Horizon Ventures was founded in 2002 by Solina Chow Hoi Shuen and Debbie Chang Pui V. It is closely associated and funded by Ka-shing. Now, do you guys know who Ka-shing is? I need you guys to do some research right now. Ka-shing. I want you guys to figure out who is Li. I've been doing a lot of research on this. Ka-shing. You guys know who Ka-shing is? Anybody know who Ka-shing is? Ka-shing, spelled exactly like I'm posting. Does anybody know who Ka-shing is? Well, let's just say that Ka-shing is one of the richest men in the world. Ka-shing is one of the 30 richest people in the world. Ka-shing is closely associated and funding Horizon Ventures, which means that Li Ka-shing and Debbie Chang, who are the noted names, that is the first name they listed in the title of this. That means that Li Ka-shing, one of the richest men in the world, and Debbie Chang from Horizon Ventures are taking a position, a strategic investment into Taat lifestyle and wellness. I think that's big. I think it's absolutely huge. I think it's a game changer. And I know a lot of people don't know who Debbie Chang is, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys understand this deal and why they put this deal together and who the people are behind the deal. Horizon Ventures in her personal capacity, including Miss Debbie Chang, co-founder of Horizon Ventures in her personal capacity. The placement is intended to help bolster the company's early stage performance as it prepares to launch Taat, a tobacco-free and nicotine-free combustible analog to cigarettes in the United States later this quarter. So a strategic investor and a group of investors have come together and put in $6.75 million into Taat. And Li Ka-shing is one of the 30 richest men in the world. And he's now got a position in Taat. Beyond Tobacco trademark, the base material of Taat has been meticulously engineered to mimic the experience of smoking actual tobacco despite containing no nicotine or tobacco whatsoever. Taat is offered in a combustible format with a realistic tobacco scent and taste created using a patent-pending refinement technique for the Beyond Tobacco trademark-based material. Now, what I'm going to do here, going to go to Taat USA. Taat USA. So guys, their website is tatusa.com. I'll bet you this news is not even on the website yet. All right. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this. Okay, so you guys see my screen now, so you guys can see the Taat product, right? So you guys see the Taat product. So Taat, as an early stage company, that's gone from 41 cents. It hit a high on Monday of $4.41. It came back to $2.50. And now a strategic investor and a group of investors have decided to put $6.75 million into Taat. Now, one of the strategic investors, Li Ka-shing, is one of the richest men in the world. He is part of the Horizon Ventures. He's behind Horizon Ventures, Li Ka-shing, and he's one of the richest men in the world, one of the 30 richest men in the world is interested in Taat and is so interested that he's decided with his fund, with Debbie Chang, and with other strategic investors to take a position in Taat. Taat is offered in a combustible format with a realistic tobacco scent and taste created using a patent-pending refinement technique for the Beyond Tobacco trademark-based material. In mid-2020, retail market testing in California and Nevada, legal-age current tobacco smokers who sampled Taat for the first time indicated that there was no significant experiential differences in comparison to smoking traditional tobacco cigarettes. They taste like a cigarette, smell like a cigarette, look like a cigarette, but it has no tobacco and no nicotine. Right there, Rock says, richest person in Hong Kong. That's right. Cynthia says, Li Ka-shing is a powerhouse. Ricky Don Walker says, leave a like, people. Rich brings top picks first. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. If you leave the like and you share this video, more people will see it. More people will learn about it. More people will come and watch the video. More people will comment, and we'll be able to have a more intelligent discussion about what's going on here and these strategic moves and these catalysts that Taat Lifestyle and Wellness continues to deliver. Because this is a big delivery. This is a $6.75 million infusion into an early stage company by a billionaire investor. One of the 30 richest men in the world, Ka-shing, is behind Horizon Ventures. That's big. Anytime you get one of the 30 richest men in the world on your team, that's big. That's all I got to say. Ryan says under 2 next week. Well, I promise you this. If it does go under 2 next week, a lot of people are going to buy it. A lot of people are going to buy it because when word gets out that one of the 30 richest men in the world has invested $6 million into a company that's trading at $2, a lot of people are going to know about it. You guys are just the first because I'm breaking the news first. A lot of people don't even know who Ka-shing is. A lot of people don't know who Horizon Ventures is. A lot of people might not know who Debbie Chang is. I'm here to kind of connect the dots, dot the I's and cross the T's. I remember being here when it was at 41 cents and people were saying Taat wasn't this and Taat wasn't that. On Monday, Taat hit 441 and was a 10 bagger. A 10 bagger for our community. Since then, it retraced, which all stocks typically, when they go up 1,000% in a few months, do. And once it retraces, the panic sellers come out. So now the company's come out with another huge news. A 6.75 million Canadian injection from one of the richest men in the world and some other strategic investors. So let's just read the news and let's figure out what's going to happen next, shall we? Amjad says, I always share your YouTube and like. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Ray says, now I understand your answer with the surprise and the upcoming good news of Taat. I love this news. Anytime you get one of the 30 richest men in the world on your team, I can't see how that's a bad thing. In fact, he can invest at any price. It's not a bad thing because now you got a billionaire on your side. One of the richest men in the world on your side. Can't be a bad thing. Just saying. Keith says, Taat gonna jump big time next week. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Aman says, Rich, brother, please let me know if it comes down. Well, it's come down. It was at 441 on Monday, and today it's at 250. So it's come down, right? How much more could it come down? I don't know. The market knows. I've told you guys this before. I don't control the market. The market will decide where this stock goes. I just know that when you bring in a billionaire, one of the richest men in the world into your company, you're going to be bringing in a lot of new investors, a lot of new eyeballs, a lot of new interest on a global scale, because now you've got one of the richest men in the world in your $2 stock. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. What price it is, I mean, that the market will decide. I don't decide that. But we're going to get through this and we're going to read this news and we're going to break this down to understand it completely. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to share this quick little video about Taat so everybody knows exactly what Taat is first, and then I'll break down the rest of the news, okay? Because some of you might not know who Taat is. My job is just to kind of let you know what's going on.
We are going to take on one of the largest industries in the world. This is almost a $1 trillion global industry that is ripe for change. Smoking is harmful. There's no benefit to smoking, but it is addictive, and people continue to do it because it is addictive.
I built my first company in 2012. It was an e-liquid manufacturing company. This led me on a journey to create the market's first hemp cigarette. What really makes this product different is that it's powerfully allowing a cigarette smoker to replace an identical habit to smoke a cigarette that has an identical weight, that burns identically. It mimics the taste of a cigarette, but it does not have tobacco and it does not have nicotine.
This product allows you to get away from something that makes you sick. This is going to truly change the world. I was very intrigued about being able to do something that was so innovative and so different and had so much potential to not only be successful financially, but also to improve people's lives.
During this experience of being in the counterculture industry and private labeling for other CBD companies, as far back as 2014, the development of this new product, it was the market's first hemp cigarette. And the response was overwhelming. And it really just deepened my passion even further to innovate and evolve on the product and create something that has never existed before.
Our target market is essentially anybody who smokes or vapes on a global scale. We are going to come in and create an opportunity for people to better their lives by consuming our product. It's an easy message to present. It's an easy message for people to understand. We're in the final stages of testing this product, and we'll be going to market this fall. We're launching in the United States in the fall of 2020, and we will have a production capacity of approximately 1 million sticks a day, which is about 4,800 cartons. Is something that's going to truly allow us to expand this business globally very quickly.
I sincerely mean this perfectly every single time, to have the same consistent experience for our customers today that they'll have a year from now. So it's a very detailed 20-step process that we implement here to handle a very complicated plant and turn it into a sensation for our customers that tastes just like a real tobacco cigarette.
So I want to break down this investment, okay? With the Canadian 6.75 million raised in private placements, let me just go down here. It's a better for you alternative. And here's some of their other packaging. And obviously they're working on other packaging as well. So with the 6.75 million raised in the placement, the company intends to expand its currently planned initiatives for launching TAT in the state of Ohio. This capital is also to be applied towards further research and development of both TAT and the Beyond Tobacco trademark-based material, as well as possible entry into additional markets in the United States. TAT Chief Executive Officer Seti Coscarella commented, "It is with pleasure that I announce the escrowed closing of the placement with TAT. With our experience-driven analog to tobacco cigarettes that contains no tobacco or nicotine, our objective is to provide a choice for current tobacco smokers of legal age to leave nicotine behind. They're not looking to have people that have never smoked to smoke these. They're looking to get people that are already smoking to convert to a non-nicotine, non-tobacco cigarette. In doing so, we seek to create meaningful social, economic, and humanitarian impact by helping to alleviate the effects of tobacco use and production." Private placement. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this private placement. The company's non-brokered private placement offering of units with the group has raised gross proceeds of 6.75 million Canadian, or approximately 5 million US. Pursuant to the offering, the company sold an aggregate of 5,192,308 units. Each unit was issued at a price of $1.30 Canadian. Okay, so they raised this money at $1.30 Canadian. The stock is currently at $2.50. So if you're a strategic investor and you're planning on investing in this company and the stock explodes, you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, well, I want to get in, but I want to get in at a good price. Clearly, these investors got in at a very good price, at $1.30. So they're doing everything they can to take care of these investors. And I believe it's a strategic move because this is not a group of toxic funders. This is a group of strategic investors. There's a difference. So let's break this down. So the company sold an aggregate of 5,192,308 units or shares. Each unit was issued at a price of $1.30 and comprised of one common share of the company and one common share purchase warrant. Each whole warrant, a warrant of the company. Each warrant is exercisable to acquire one common share of the company for a period of 12 months following the closing date at an exercise price of $2 Canadian per common share. The warrants are subject to an acceleration clause should the common shares have a closing price on the Canadian Securities Exchange or such other exchange on which the common shares may be traded at such time of $3 Canadian or greater per common share for a period of 5 consecutive trading days at any time that is 4 months and 1 day from the closing date, in which event the company may notify with warrant holders that the warrants must be exercised within a period of 30 days, which is a forced execution of 30 days, or they will expire. All securities issued or issuable pursuant to the offering are subject to a whole period of 4 months and 1 day. This news release does not constitute an offer to sell or buy solicitation of any securities. And that's the news that came out with Taat Lifestyle and Wellness, a 6.75 million private placement with a group of investors, including Miss Debbie Chang from Horizon Ventures, who has one of the richest men in the world behind them, Mr. Li Ka-shing, one of the 30 richest men in the world, has now, through his fund, Horizon Ventures, made a strategic investment into Taat Lifestyle and Wellness. Love to know what you guys think about this. Love to know what you guys believe this is going to do for the stock. Love to know what you guys think this is going to do for the company long term. Love to know your guys' opinions. Ryan says, hopefully it tastes like a Belmont. Robert Singh says, hey, Rich, I'm sticking with Taat no matter what happens short term. Well, I think that as investors, everyone has to understand that this is an early stage company. It's making a lot of strategic moves, big moves to position themselves in this global tobacco industry and essentially bringing a product that is going to disrupt tobacco and big tobacco. So when you get one of the 30 richest men in the world on your side, what you're doing is you're building pillars and building blocks and foundations in your company. So where some people look at this and say, whoa, it's dilutive, they sold 5 million shares. My response to that is they just raised $6.75 million with hopefully a strategic investor that is not going to be a dilutive investor, but hopefully will be a long-term strategic investor with the company and continue to do what Taat has done, which is create phenomenal results. Because that's all Taat has done so far. From 41 cents pre-IPO to $4.41, a 10-bagger on Monday. Today's Friday. It's gone down to $2.50. Now they have this huge news. This news is going to be distributed all over the world. So I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what it is and everybody understands what exactly is happening here. Because I think this news is big news, massive news. So Zach Ramps says they obviously didn't start and finish the deal today or even this week. Price was set weeks ago. Yeah, I have no idea when this price was set or what exactly happened to put this deal together. I just think that anytime you raise $6.75 million and you're an early stage company, that's huge. Okay. They need money. That's huge. Anytime you get one of the richest men in the world strategically being one of those investors, that's huge. That gives you credibility. That gives you clout. That gives you financial backing. that gives you support, that gives you potentially relationships in Hong Kong and Asia, the largest markets in the world for tobacco use. So there's so much that could potentially come out of this. Martin Nasser says, so more dilution. You're not going to raise $5 million without dilution. Anytime you're a public company and you're raising money, you're always doing it with some type of dilution because you're selling stock. So anytime you're raising money, there's going to be some type of dilution because you're selling stock. So they sold 5 million shares for $6,750,000. For an early stage company that has a very tight float, this is a strategic investment, and this is how they fund their business. You need money to grow your business. You need capital. This is how they're gaining their capital, with a strategic investor that's a billionaire and one of the 30 richest men in the world. I think it's a good deal. Now, could the stock go down? They raised the money at $1.30. So market makers, short traders, day traders, speculators might say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a dollar stock now. Maybe it's a $1.30 stock. They may say that. Or investors may say, hey, this is a strategic deal. We're okay with the $1.30. We like the fact they got one of the 30 richest men in the world. We like the fact they got a billionaire investor behind the company. We think that it's worth $2.50, but I have no idea. The market will decide. The market will decide where the stock is going to go. But as a business, as a company, in my opinion, Taat took a huge step forward. Anytime you can tell people that you have one of the 30 richest men in the world on your team, you took a huge step forward. And anytime you could put another $6.75 million in the bank, you took a huge step forward, in my opinion. Martin says, imagine if Taat made its way into China. Well, what do you think they're going to do by getting Ka-shing, who's the richest man in Hong Kong, investing in the company? What do you think is the next logical step? Just saying, but it's a good thought. Cosmo the bro says, here's the very start of going into the Asian market. Hey man, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. Just let you guys read some of this information on Taat. Ray says, Taat is the most discussed and one of the most searched shares in the German communities like Wall Street Online. Wow. It's popular, eh? That's good. Hey, people like their cigarettes. And if people can get a safer alternative, a lot of people are going to take it. This is Joe Deegan, founder and CEO of Taat Herb & Co. He is the founder behind the whole idea, the whole concept. It's this man right here. Is the genius behind it all. CW Chim says, I'm all in. If Ka-shing is the investor, I'm a Hong Konger. Mr. Lee is no joke. Well, do the research, guys, on just Google Debbie Chang, Horizon Ventures. Google Debbie Chang, Horizon Ventures, and you will see that Ka-shing is a strategic investor in Horizon Ventures. He is a strategic partner in Horizon Ventures. So when he's a strategic partner in the fund and the fund's making a 6.5 million or a multiple million investment, we don't know exactly how much the fund put in, but they're making an investment because it says a group of investors. So 6.75 million has come in collectively from this fund and a group of investors. When they make that type of a commitment, you must assume that one of the richest men in the world, Ka-shing, is involved in that decision. That's why I think this is huge. That's why I think this news is huge. I think this news is just massive. But I mean, everyone's going to have their opinion, right? I mean, so far I've been right about TAT. When I brought it at 41 cents, I had a lot of people saying all kinds of different things. On Monday, it hit $4.41. 10 bagger, up 1,000%. Then after it goes up so much, people start to take profits and it goes down to 250. And today they bring this huge news of a strategic billionaire investor, one of the 30 richest men in the world, Ka-shing from Horizon Ventures through Miss Debbie Chang. Research Debbie Chang, Horizon Ventures, and connect the dots to Ka-shing. And tell me if you think this small little $2 brand new small cap company that's a brand new IPO and been around since June just got one of the 30 richest men in the world to invest in this $2 stock. What do you think that does for the company? Just saying. Zach Ramtis says, if it's at $1.30 next week, it will be my entire portfolio. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Martin says the pullback is healthy. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. Pullbacks are healthy and it gives investors an opportunity to buy in at good prices. And when the stocks make moves, it gives investors opportunities to take profit. So at the end of the day, we cannot control the market. All I want to do is break the news and let everybody know what is going on in the company. And hopefully investors can buy low and sell high, take profits along the way, or get in and hold for the win. Because this is a company that, in my opinion, is moving in the right direction. You can see some of the management involved, right? Some of the people that are involved in this company and what this company is doing to be a disruptive game changer. They are going into a sector. They're not trying to convert non-smokers into smokers. They're trying to convert smokers into smokers that smoke cigarettes that taste like cigarettes, smell like cigarettes, look like cigarettes, but they have no nicotine, no tobacco. So they're trying to get you off of nicotine and off of tobacco. This is what we call a disruptive technology, a game changer. That's why I like TAT. Is there going to be swings in the market? Of course, it's the stock market. Is there going to be highs and lows? Of course. But that's also making this one of the most talked about stocks in the world right now for small micro cap issuers. Everywhere you look, everyone's talking about TAT. You go into all the bull boards, they're talking about TAT. Why? Because it's a 10 bagger. It went from 41 cents to $4.41 in a few months. It's gone up 1,000%. It's a 10 bagger. So when people make 1,000% on their money, people get excited and they want to talk about it. But the people that miss it, the people that miss the run, they're now waiting on the sidelines. They're waiting for this to come down so they can get in. Now the question is, what's the best price? So now there's this price target of $1.30 that where Ka-shing and this group of investors have invested, and people are already saying it's going to go to $1.30. Maybe it will. Maybe it goes to $5. Maybe it goes to $10 on this news, or maybe it goes to $1.30. Who knows? I don't know. What I do know is that this company just got better. That's what I do know. And this company just got money, and they just got one of the 30 richest men in the world on their team. That's what I do know. As far as the market's concerned, I don't like to guess. On Tuesday or Monday in America, because it's a holiday in Canada, happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians that are watching, and anyone all over the world that's celebrating Thanksgiving, gobble, gobble. On Monday, the holiday, it will be closed in Canada, the markets. It will be open in America. So in America on Monday, we'll get an idea of what the market thinks about this news. We'll know. And then on Tuesday, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see if this news is even on the website yet. I don't think this news is even on the website yet. No. I don't see this news on the website yet. So this news literally just broke, and I wanted to come live and break the news and talk about it and make sure that we could have an intelligent conversation about it. And if you guys have any questions, I want you guys to put it in the chat, and then I'll break it down for you guys. If you like this video, smash the like button, share this video everywhere. The breaking news, TAT just got a strategic investment from a syndicate of investors. One of the largest groups is Horizon Ventures, and they have a principal named Debbie Chang. And one of the key principals behind Horizon Ventures is one of the richest men in the world, Ka-shing, one of the 30 richest men in the world. Google Horizon Ventures, Ka-shing, and Debbie Chang, and you will see the connection. And now you'll understand how they are connected to Taat Lifestyle and Wellness. It's pretty wild. I am Pip Girl says, this is awesome news. Ampho Drew says, Very gaining traction too. Yeah, you guys know I love Very. Buy the dips and sell the rips, baby. Martin says, I wish I bought more today, but oh well. You'll always have another chance. Honorio says, I'm about to buy. Green Bull says, massive amounts of money flowing into Bitcoin-related stocks. I expect oil to perform well next 6 months too. Oil's up 10% this week. Good call on oil. Ricky Don Walker says, can't wait for Taat to hit the Canadian markets. I got so many smokers that are just waiting for a better alternative. I don't know when it's going to hit in Canada. It's going to hit in America first, guys. And that's where we're going to be able to give away all of our samples. We're trying to organize our samples for everyone in America. We actually legally can't issue them to anyone in Canada or Germany or any other country right now. We got to start with America first. And then once we get our samples to everyone in America, and once they start selling in Ohio, which will be soon, then we can start thinking about other markets. But legally, they can't. Not right now, unfortunately. Kyle says, my grandfather was a market maker. He told me about this news a few days ago. Oh, wow. He knew this news? Der Ellis says, this is fire. I will buy like 4,000 more for good price. Try to get a good price, guys. Buy low, sell high. Cosmo the Bro says, SETI is a pro. Nonstop news for shareholders. Don Udo says, glad I bought 10K more today. Wow. James Finkley says, I got 5K shares at 53 cents and still holding on. Man, you got a great entry. Great work, James. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up the chart. Let's pull up the chart on Taat. Let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. Okay. We're going to look at the chart right now. And we're going to see how healthy this looks. Just going to look at the Canadian one because I'm in Canada. So it's at $2.51. It was down 15% today. Okay. So you can see that I've been marking this up, and let's just go to the 6-month chart. So you can see for the last 6 months how this thing is just screamed up, right? Screamed up, 10 bagger, 41 cents, all the way to $4.41, right? This thing is just screamed up in the last few months. It's been a huge winner. I've even trapped this multiple times, and it just kept going higher and higher and higher until recently, in the last couple of days, where it started to sell off. Start to sell off, start to sell off, start to sell off. So, you know, the stock exploded, hit an all-time high right here. It was actually 441 was the all-time high. Right about here. Right around 441 was an all-time high. And you can see that it did that all-time high on Monday of this week. And then it started to sell off. And then there was big news that they were going to start doing their first orders, and the stock came back up, and then it started to sell off even more. So it's been doing this downward trend. So now they just put out this news about this $6.75 million investment with a strategic group of investors that are backed by one of the richest men in the world. The market's going to do two things here. Either they're going to say, wow, they raised it at $1.30. This should go to $1.30. That's the way the market typically is at times. Depends on the deal and how it's structured and who's doing it. Some people might say, hey, this was done at $1.30. Maybe this goes back to $1.30. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. Maybe it goes lower. Who knows? And then there's others who are going to say, you know what? This is huge news. This is a strategic investor. I like this news. I think I buy the stock and it goes up on Monday or Tuesday. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it's going to trade next week. I think with the news circulating all week long and all weekend long, I think there's going to be a lot of interest in the stock. And there's going to be a lot of different feelings towards this news. Anytime somebody raises money lower than the market, especially here in Canada, the market makers always like to have a tendency to take the stock back to the price that they raise money at. Not always, but sometimes. So we see, will we see it go back to these levels of $1.30 where I know a lot of people within our community would be buying? I tell you right now, a lot of people within our community would be buying at that price. Absolutely. Or do we see it come up from this massive pullback and start ripping up on the news that A, they've got money, and B, they've got one of the richest men, 30 richest men in the world that are now behind the company. So that remains to be seen. And that's the beautiful thing about the markets. Nobody ever really knows 100% how the market's going to respond to anything. You have kind of an idea of what you think based on historical patterns and what's happened in the past. But it's not every day that one of the richest men in the world invests in a stock that's at $2. So we'll see. We'll see. It kind of just depends on what the investors that are holding the stock think about the news, what institutions think about the news, what the market makers think about the news, and what the shareholders that are holding the stock right now think about the news. Hey, Q Cushion Trader, what do you think about the news, buddy? I know Q Cushion Trader has a lot of shares. I'd love to know what you think about this news, my friend. Now, obviously, they raised money at $1.30, but if I'm an investor and I'm putting in $6,750,000 into a stock that was at 80 cents, this stock was at 80 cents, guys. Look at this. I'm going to show you something. This stock was at 80 cents. And I remember, you guys got to remember, they may have done this deal. They may have been working on this deal way before this stock exploded. So this stock was at 80 cents, and I'm going to mark it right here. This stock was at 80 cents, September 2nd. Today's October 9th. So 5 weeks ago, this stock was at 80 cents. So who knows when they negotiated this deal? But if I'm Lee Ka-shing and I'm investing in a $2 stock, I'm trying to get a good deal. I'm not trying to pay more. I'm trying to pay less. So if I'm a strategic investor and I'm going to put in 6.75 million and I'm a billionaire and I can put in even more money, I'm trying to get a good deal. So $1.30 seems like a good deal for Lee Ka-shing right now because the stock's trading at $2.50. The question is, will it continue to trade at $2.50? Or does it go higher from here? Or does it go back down to that $1.30 mark where some people are talking it's going to go? Some experts are already saying it's going back to $1.30 because that's where they raise money. Some experts also didn't expect TAT to go from 41 cents to $4.41. I guarantee you that. But I was the one that's telling everybody that this company was a game changer at 41 cents, that this company was going to change the world at 41 cents. I was interviewing everybody from the company when nobody knew their name and they're at 41 cents. And now it's one of the most talked about small cap, micro cap stocks on the planet. Just saying. So I like the news. I personally like the news. In fact, I love the news. I love the news. Where does the stock go on Monday or Tuesday? I have absolutely no idea. But where does the stock go long term? I say $10. I say this is a $10 stock. I think this has $10 stock written all over it. And even at these prices, if you were to get in at $2.50 and it was to go to $10, that would be a 300% jump. Now, if it does go down to $1.30, like some experts are predicting, then that means that if we load up at $1.30, or if members load up, or people load up at $1.30 or even lower, if they get that chance again, there's a very good chance that if they're willing to hold for this company to grow their revenues and evolve, that this is going to be a $10 stock, and that the investors that get in at $1 or $2 are going to get a chance to make a multiple on their money. And at the end of the day, that is my modus operandi, is that our investors win and win big. Volatility, that's part of the markets. If there's no volatility, I'm not interested in the stock. But if there's volatility, I like that stock. When I brought you this stock at 41 cents, that was the time to buy. When the stock went to 441, that was clearly the time to sell. Simple. Nothing else to talk about. I brought it to you pre-IPO at 41 cents, told you all was going to explode. It exploded, went up 1,000%. So a lot of people took profits, as they should. Now they just came out with this huge news. They got just under $7 million in their bank. They got a check cut. And they got one of the richest men in the world, one of the 30 richest men in the world who cut that check, holding their back, saying, we like this deal. We're willing to invest millions of dollars in this deal. And I have this feeling in my guts that this is not the first check they're going to cut. And just imagine if you've got $1 billion fund backing you along the way from $1 to $2 to $3 to $4 to $5 to $6 to $10. And every time you need a little extra money, you don't got to go to the dilutive guys. You just go to your buddy Lee Ka-shing. Hey, Lee, we need another 10 mil. Think you could cut the check? What's the terms of the deal? I don't know. What do you want to pay, Lee? What do you think is fair? Makes sense to me. I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. Kyle says, I don't think the stock goes up until the warrants are gone. Okay, thank you for sharing your feedback. Nora says, hi, Rich. It may accelerate for the hype and then goes down to 130-ish. What do you think of this? You know what? I know that the market, anytime they see a number, that becomes like a target for them. I saw the exact same thing happen with Very. Very went up to $2. They raised money at $1.30 and the stock went down to about $1.30, $1.40. Now Very's back to 170. So could it potentially go back down based on the fact that they're raising money at $1.30? Absolutely. They were just at 80 cents. Like I showed you guys, I got the line. I showed you guys the line. They were at 80 cents. Like guys, they were at 80 cents September 2nd. It's October 9th. 5 weeks ago, the stock was at 80 cents before it hit its all-time high on Monday of $4.41, which was a 1,000% gain, a 10-bagger since I brought it to you guys first pre-IPO. I told everyone before it was even public that they were going to be a game changer, and they've already gone up 1,000% before the last consolidation, which is very healthy. Stocks can't just go up forever. Every stock is going to have pullbacks along the way. Now, the question is this just a pullback? And do we see this rip up from here? Or does it go down further due to the fact that they've raised money at $1.30? That's the million-dollar question that we're trying to determine right now. Francesco says, more like Lee Ka-shing, money Ka-shing. Hey, man, I agree with you 100%. Keo Christian Trader says, I say next year by June, the stock is between 20 to 50, unless it explodes like Beyond Meat and FOMO follows. You know what? I agree with you. I think there's huge potential. I see a $10 stock, but $20 or more is possible too. I just see it, you know? I saw it when it was pre-IPO as at least a $1 or $2 stock. And then once it hit $1, $2, $3, $4, then I started seeing $5 to $10 stock. And now when you see this news and you see one of the richest men in the world getting into Taat lifestyle and wellness, don't you want to get into a stock where one of the richest 30 men in the world is in that stock? I mean, it makes most people want to get into because you want to follow the money, right? If Warren Buffett jumped into the stock, what would people do? Well, Lee Ka-shing is like the Warren Buffett of Hong Kong. So he might not be a household name in Canada or United States, but in Hong Kong, that name carries clout, big clout. So there will be people that will follow this news. Let's see how quickly it gets circulated. Let's see how quickly people jump on the news. Let's see if the market likes the news, if it's already baked into the price. These are all the things we have to see with our own eyes when the market opens on Monday, specifically in America, and then in Canada on Tuesday. Lewis says, let's go team love Tat. Hey, respect, Lewis. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. Keo Cushion Trader says, Bill Gates entered Beyond Meat and it hit 200. When you typically get one of the richest men in the world that enter into your stock, it's never a bad thing. Amjad says, I'm holding for long, but if it goes to 130, I will buy more and hold for long. And I think that's what most people are thinking right now. They're trying to see what the bottom is, what the floor is, when they should position themselves and make a good decision. There's no need to chase anything, right? You want to buy the dips, sell the rips. Just make sure you don't chase a falling knife, right? Make sure that if you're buying something that's going down, that you wait for it to kind of level off, create a floor, and then start turning up. That's when you want to start positioning yourself in a stock. But you don't want to buy a stock if it's going down, right? That's called chasing a falling knife. That's not a good idea. You want to wait for it to turn, consolidate, create a floor, and then start to turn up. And then that's when you want to position yourself in stocks. Dylan Fraser says, I wonder if Hong Kong is the next place to launch TAT. Could you imagine if they launch TAT in Hong Kong? That will just be so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about that. Cosmo the Bro says, TAT is a sleeper hit. It's obvious. Well, it's my job to make sure that everybody isn't sleeping. It's my job to make sure everybody isn't sleeping. And it's a Friday right before a long weekend. So I don't want to take any more of everyone's time. I just wanted to break that news. Congratulations to everybody that are holding TAT, especially the guys that got in early, pre-IPO, first couple of days when it launched, when I was telling everybody about it, and you're in under $1. This is huge news. Ka-shing, Debbie Chang, Horizon Ventures, a syndicate of investors have put in a strategic $6.75 million, a cash infusion through a private placement into TAT Lifestyle and Wellness. I believe long-term that this is phenomenally huge news for the company and that this is going to be a catalyst for the company for years to come. And that regardless of what the market thinks in the short term about this raise at $1.30, that this is huge news for the company because A, they got just under $7 million to put in the bank to help with growing the business. And B, they just got one of the 30 richest men in the world, the richest man in Hong Kong, Ka-shing, in the TAT business, in the TAT company, owning equity, owning shares in the company. I think it's hot. I think this news is hot. It's off the presses, and you heard it here first from your boy, Rich. If you're not winning, you're not watching. We bring you the winners, and we bring them to you first. We brought you this bad boy first. We're going to continue to follow the story. We're going to talk about them every single day within our group, inside the group, outside the group. We're going to bring you the news, and anything that's happening, we're going to bring it to you first. Good, bad, or ugly, you can count on our boy to be here every single day to tell the story. TAT Lifestyle and Wellness, been a huge winner for our community, and I believe our community continues to win on this pick. Short term, yeah, maybe the stock goes down a little bit due to the fact that they raised money at $1.30. That remains to be seen. We'll see. Long term, this has already been a 10-bagger, and I believe that we still have, from these prices, at least, in my opinion, I think there's at least a triple opportunity to $10 long-term for this stock, mid to long-term for this stock. I see this as a $10 stock. I'm going to continue to say it now. I'm going to start putting it out there. I see this as a $10 stock. And now that a billionaire, one of the 30 richest men in the world, has invested $1.30, I believe that people will follow the money, and maybe not at 250, maybe not at 450, maybe not at 350, but investors are going to follow this money, and they're going to follow this news, and they're going to want to get in this deal. They just want to get it the best price. And I think investors should try to buy at the best price. So hunt the best price, hunt the bottom, buy the dips, sell the rips. This is your boy, Rich from Rich TV Live. We've been doing this since 2017. I don't believe anybody's on our level, and we're just going to continue to win. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace. See if this news is on their website. Oh, it is. There's the news. Boom. So you can see the news is on the website now. That's pretty good. They put it up quickly. So the news is right there, guys. There's the news. So you guys can go to their website. You can read the news, go through the press release. It's kind of funny because in the press release, they actually made reference to China. Check this out. In September 2020, the World Health Organization issued a notice outlining the importance of tobacco control in China as it recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic. Why would they make a reference to China in this press release? You think that that's a coincidence? Data from the WHO also indicates that total economic cost of smoking in China rose by 1,000% by 2000 and 2014, with one death from tobacco use occurring approximately every 30 seconds. In addition to the public health and economic burdens of tobacco consumption, tobacco production has also been known to have an adverse environmental impact. As TAT does not require any tobacco, its potential to lessen the effects of tobacco production offers another dimension of possible impact in addition to the product's consumer level utility. With the Canadian $6.75 million raised in the placement, the company intends to expand its currently planned initiatives for launching TAT in the state of Ohio. This is weeks away. The capital is also to be applied towards further research and development of both TAT and the Beyond Tobacco trademark-based material, as well as possible entry into additional markets in the United States. There's the terms of the raise. Okay, let's look at Horizon Ventures Hong Kong. Horizon Ventures Hong Kong. This is the company that just did the strategic investment. Kyokushin Trader says they will open a TAT factory in China soon, I bet. Can you imagine? Did they advertise on here their investment? That would be pretty cool. Look at all these strategic investments these guys have made. Wow. Interesting. Team. Let's look at the team here. This is called doing due diligence. This is called digging. We're digging deep. We're digging deep. Oh, who's that? Is that Li Ka-shing? Is that the man, the myth, the legend right there? Is that one of the richest men in the world right there? That's him. That's him. There it is. Li Ka-shing. It's funny. They got a picture of him. Debbie Chang. Let's see what's going on here. Special appearance. Interesting. They're very quiet about him being involved. They don't even put his name out there. Do you guys see that? They have a picture of him. So they got Debbie Chang's name in the private placement. They got a picture of Li Ka-shing. Look, this is Li Ka-shing. They got a picture of him, but they don't have his name on it. Look at this. They got his picture here. No name. That's Li Ka-shing, guys. But there ain't no Li Ka-shing here. See how these billionaires operate, how they structure themselves? Chinese walls, guys. Chinese walls, man. It's interesting. So everybody knows he's involved. They even got his picture there, but his name isn't anywhere. Oh, you gotta love it. Let's see, portfolio. So when they put Taat Lifestyle and Wellness in their portfolio, what is that going to do? Like, what's that going to do when they actually add, to their portfolio? Okay, so they got 103 investments. Okay. How do you go down here? Let's see here. Wow, they got 103 investments, eh? These guys are everywhere. These guys are huge. Spider worked in Canada. Interesting. Indonesia. Like, these guys are everywhere. Wow. These guys are all over the world. Lewis says $10 easy for the stock. Nora says, thank you, Rich. You were genuinely generous with my fiance and I and told us about TAP before I went public. Thank you so much. Stay safe, healthy, and wealthy. Hey, my pleasure. Just want to see people win, man. That's all I want. More than anything else, I just want to see people win. Jeanette says, I wonder if Trump going to get in on TAP. Could you imagine the power of the tweet? Mr. Trump himself? That would be epic. Ray says, this news will definitely be the knockout of all bashers in the communities around the world. It's big news. It's big news. I mean, you got one of the richest men in the world. Here it is. One of the biggest funds. This fund is all over the world. And now TAT is going to be on here. They probably don't have it yet because this news just closed. But I'm assuming TAT will be one of the 103 companies that's on here eventually. That's exciting. Martin says, can China open up a knockoff brand of TAT with different hemp procedures? People can try, but TAT is just so far ahead of the game, guys. These are not guys that just fell off the back of a coconut truck. These are guys that are experts. These are guys that are experts that, like Joe Deegan, the founder, right here, Joe Deegan, this guy knows what he's doing. Like this guy created this. And this is a guy that's been in this business for a long time. So it isn't easy to create what he created. Let's just put it that way. It would not be easy for anyone to do it. Dylan Fraser says, patent pending for TAT. Yes, patent pending for TAT. It's true. Nora says, Jeanette, they don't need Trump. They are way smarter than this. Dan Udo says, thank you, Rich. The news really made my day, my weekend. Ka-ching. Isn't that crazy? Ka-ching. Oh, man. Keo Christian Trader says he is worth 31.7 billion, number 2 in Hong Kong. He is known to invest with amazing timing in companies. Keo Christian Trader, man. Get excited. You guys want to see the man behind this? The man behind the whole thing? He's right here, guys. The secret man behind the whole thing? Right here, guys. This man right here. Li Ka-shing. Let's just do a little search on him. Li Ka-shing. There's Li Ka-shing. Let's go to his Wikipedia. Sir Li Ka-shing is a Hong Kong business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. As of June 2019, Li is the 30th richest person in the world. That was as of June 2019. It's a year later. He might be worth more. With an estimated net worth of $29.4 billion. He is the senior advisor for CK Hutchinson Holdings and CK Asset Holdings after he retired from chairman of the board in May 2018. I'm not going to go through all of this, but this is one of the biggest players in the world, and Taat is now working with Ka-shing. So I thought that was pretty big news, and I'm really happy to share it first. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys for watching. Ka-shing and Debbie Chang, you can see Debbie Chang right here, making a strategic investment for $6,750,000 into Taat Lifestyle and Wellness. I say this puts them on the map. And when a billionaire invests in a $2 stock, good things usually happen. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out officially this time. Peace.